Tuesday afternoon, nighttime, depending on where you are, show, bringing you some of the hottest updates and highlights from THL's week, really. I am Lotus Knight. I am one of your hosts for tonight, and I am joined, first of all, everyone's favorite board member. Tonight, he is streaming, as everyone knows, directly from Cancun, Mexico.
That's right.
Because Ron couldn't make it, so he's there with him. And sporting.
I
Um,
like how you cut my head off. Like you can only see up from my nose, so you're gonna make me like sit up
oh, I'll
straighter.
fix it. I'll fix it. Don't worry. I'll fix. Soccer will fix it in post. But
Coordinates
I'm
like.
fixing it myself.
um,
I'm all over this. Don't worry.
his Sharmo's favorite card, as everyone knows, is Twin Slice. Welcome to Sharmo,
You picked the worst card. I hate that card.
right?
Oh, yes, the card sucks.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. I've been sick the past like 5 days, but I'm starting to feel better. It's good.
Nice.
So if I cough on accident, apologies. If I sniffle by accident, apology.
Fair. Well, we all have social distancing, so I think we're okay for now. Um,
Not in Texas, so.
Fair. Right above the Sharmo, we have Battleground Specialist here tonight as a hero specialist. He is the great commenter in the Friday show, directly from London, England. We have his favorite card, everyone knows, is Jade Idol. We have Corridon.
Yo, Jade Idol is actually legit. I miss Jade Gollum. Those were awesome. That's accurate. Good job, Lotus.
See?
Um, I like that you say I'm from London, England, and I'm fighting Rebob in Hero this week. So
Nice.
that's pretty on brand from across the pond. So
Nice. See, I always get these right. Um, Next, directly from Tavern Talk and from like basically the half of the shows I'm not in, we have the one and only Dr. Fish, the extreme stream operator directly from Sydney, Australia. And since he's from down there, his favorite card is Sleep with the Fishes.
Man, great introduction. I loved playing Sleep with the Fishes in some Warrior decks back in the day.
Yeah?
Yep.
That was a. I don't remember how much that card saw play. It was not a lot, but it was a
No,
fun card.
it was a tech card occasionally, yeah.
Yeah. Um, we're going to make this show lightning fast because we have quite a bit to cover, and I don't know, I feel like we can do this fast. So we're going to jump directly into our first series. We're not doing Player of the Week because we don't really have the name right now. So hopping right into Hero series, Gordon, tell me a little bit about who is doing well in Hero.
well, to nobody's surprise, well, a little bit of surprise. F2L playing a match this week already has pushed himself ahead of at Diamond, but again, no surprise that those two are at the top right now for hero standings. Pretty much jostling, keeping the 1 and 2 right now for that bye week coming into the final week of playoffs here. Skirt chasing them from right behind. Bands as well on the prowl. You've got Dad Legend coming in at 144, holding on to 5th. Which really, you call it 5th 6 because APM, anyone playing Maestro, with the 140 and Bolner Jam sitting at a nice 138, but you can't count out no pros here. It's going to be a battle for them to come through 6, but it's not impossible. Below that, it gets a little bit more unreachable for, Tam Pams, Vote of Some Confidence, Snakes, and I think Mast is officially out. But there could be some crazy stuff for Tam Pams and Vote of Some Confidence that I'm not thinking of, but it would require some catastrophic failures from the teams above them.
Yeah, we did have the undivided thing going on this season. So Gonna have to see what happens in the final week of Hero. A lot of excitement to come.
If I if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but I think Dad Legend last season had a catastrophic failure that knocked him out of the playoffs.
Let's
If
not
I
talk
look-
about it.
Let's
Um,
So
no, I
let's
believe
not bring up last season at all. Besides the fact that Lotus's team won.
it was it was yeah, it was a tough one. We think we lost out by a few points. No, we made it playoffs last season.
No, it was 2 ago. The one I was in, Dead Legend. That was horrible.
Yeah, last season I was there. This is my second season, Dad Legend, and I
so
played playoffs
while
with
ago.
Dad Legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all kind of a
Oh,
blur.
okay. There we go.
So starting our first match, Fish, why don't you tell us about Dead Legend itself, Diamond versus Dead Legend?
Oh well, we had a pretty good match here. Two very good teams. We got at Diamond versus Dad Legend, Isocles taking the 1 seed over Always Just in Time, 3-2. We have Lotus Knight 3-1 over Starlax. Mick taking a sweep over our good friend Corridon, unfortunately for him. Diamond taking a 2-3 loss to Yellow Dart, and Ruski with a sweep over Risen. The 9 points pretty crucial to keep Dad Legend at that 143 mark to start the week. Diamond's team keeping up with Dad Legend, keeping up with F2L Black, I should say, to stay ahead of them.
Yeah. I will ask, since this person was directly involved here, Gordon, what do you think of this match? How did it go?
We got off to a bit of a shakier start. Mick and myself played very early on. So at Diamond got off to a very strong lead. I did the classic hero strat where I left up the one deck that could sweep me. Mick did the classic great hero strat where he banned the one deck that could save me. So he did get the sweep through on me, so it was very good. It was close, Sweeps are always tough to swallow, but being in the matchups, you can see how close it was. So it was closer than the sweeps relate. Next, I believe Risen was up next, so we were down pretty quickly. But luckily, Yellow Dart, Captain Dart himself, and Isocles were able to scrounge back and fight some points, and even Starlax coming into yourself, Lotus, was able to pull off the 1 point, which coming into this, tight race right now is exactly what we're after. As many points as we can get. Obviously, myself and Risen feels pretty awful to get swept and not be able to grab a few points. If it comes down to it, we might be kicking ourselves. But Diamond's at the top for a reason. They're no slouches through the 1 through 5. The whole team knows how to perform very well, plays, some very strong decks, and can really bring a completely different lineup than what you saw, weeks previous or so. It's very hard to, spec and really go after them in practice or preparation.
I'm not going to spoil any of our strats, so
No strat spoils.
No strats,
No.
yeah, definitely not.
I will move to our next match, though. Charmo, do you want to tell us a bit about anyone playing Maestro versus Snakes on a Campaign?
Yes, of course. So Snakes on a campaign, needing to get a huge win here to put themselves into contention. And anyone playing Maestro needs to win just to kind of not have this spot in the last week where they need to be fighting for their position, which they are in now, and they're in the 6th spot, but they have a one team chomping at the bit in Boner Jams, and another team Boner Jam. I mean, no pros here, and even sorry, they're gonna kill me for this. Tan Pam Surf Slam, also right there as well, in striking distance. But anyone playing Maestro did get 13 points, but you really want to win here, and you especially against a team like Snakes on a Campaign. they're sort of already kind of out of contention. But
Yes.
like as you look at all the records across the board on Hero, you notice that everybody's has 4 wins or more. That means that is a very, very competitive
Mm,
Hero series
there's
across the board. Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry, no pros here. My bad, my bad.
yeah.
Missing
NPH
no pros here.
has
But they're
yeah,
point wise, they're up there with the
yeah.
other
Mhm.
uh the
Mhm.
PR the points per week for the other teams. Nobody is like
Yeah.
really struggling this season.
Mhm.
They're just teams that are kind of struggling. So
Mhm.
Yes.
in terms of the matches here,
Yeah.
we got big wins from Mr. Python Snake, 2 players that you wouldn't be surprised that they got wins in the positions that they're in.
Mhm.
And then Jess Spine picking up a big win over a 7-2 Nomad Farmer who had been on a tear all season and given him an L.
Mhm.
That's probably was one of the the highlight matches of that series. And then Venus Mamoni, just a player who for APM was hoping to get a lot of points for them this season, has really been struggling and continues to struggle this week. So we're up, Snakes on the campaign, technically not out of it, but likely out of it. They basically need everybody to not get a lot of points. And I don't know the matches yet. It actually might just be impossible. But
Yeah.
just by looking
They'd
by
have
looking
to
at
20 point, and the other teams would have to
yeah,
get killed.
yeah, it's very unlikely. But
Yes.
good showing for them.
Sure.
Yeah.
When you're here at the end of the season, you want to win. You want to
Mhm.
show, hey, we're not just a scrub team.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then maybe they might shuffle around, maybe take one player out and put another player in, use that extra
Mhm.
PR that they have for somebody else. But look,
Sure.
Snakes on the campaign. I think one more week and then it's off season.
Yeah.
Anyone playing Maestro, you're looking to win this week. You have to.
Yeah.
Um, Speaking of teams that are just waiting one more week for the end of the season, we have our final match highlighting teams that I don't think really have any chance of playoff right now, but this is a pretty cool match. Um, Jordan, do you want to tell us about Mast versus Vote Confident?
Yeah, let's get right into here. Very close one coming down the line for, like as you said, 2 teams that are pretty much statistically out of it. Vote, I think, has, as Desharmer was saying about Snakes, he still has a mathematical chance, but I think Mass is just too far down, unfortunately. Flying that flag at low Mass, as it were, right now. But starting from the top here, you've got Mass taking a 14-13 tight one over Vote of Some Confidence. Always lethal going down to Heat Shock, but Alien Santa, the hero specialists themselves, coming in for a nice 3-0 sweep over Skittles. Yadster coming in with a 3-1 over R Hat, who's been struggling a little bit in this hero series so far.
Mm-hmm.
Falfix is now coming in at a 3-2 win over Susar Mako, and you have Jim Philos, one of the most tenured players around, coming in at a 3-2 over Saku. So for Mass, I think the story is kind of written in the bottom, unfortunately. I know Yadster filled in for a 3 seed that had to drop out, so maybe the chemistry got a little thrown off for Mass this season. Um, and 2-star and Saku, unfortunately, just can't really find their footing this season. With such
Mm-hmm.
a, but still Mass 4-6 on the season, so something's been clicking right, but it's just when those wins have been coming through, it's more been games like this for them. It's been close to ties or not really getting those big 18 to 20 point swings in the big wins.
Right.
Yeah. This this is interesting. It's one of those instances where the team with the lower amounts of wins won the week because they got a sweep and a 3-1 if the other
Mm-hmm.
people went 3-2. So that's a scenario that it doesn't happen very often, but it's cool to see.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now, let's move on. Corridon, why don't you tell us what everyone's here for in Hero? We
Oh
made
yeah.
player power rankings for Hero the second to last week. Just a reminder, we're not going to do player power rankings for Legacy or Pro since the seasons are in their playoff moments and PPR is over.
Yeah, all right. Well, get your scams ready, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, starting with the honorable mentions. You've got Super Chicken 6-2, Mole Star at a 6-2, sorry, 6-4, Mole Star at a 6-4, Rebob at a 6-4, NJO at a 6-4, and myself, Croden, at a 7-3.
Awesome. Now, given these honorable mentions, who actually made the top 10?
Well, let's see here. Coming in first on number 10, we've got none other than Skirt Reynolds at a 7-3, a 24-16 match score. Ron Mexico is absent from HC tonight, but he is present in our PPR, 6-4 with a 23-18 match score. Itachi bringing in number 8, 6-2 on a 22-11 match score. Very nice. Nomad Farmer, as we had spoken to earlier, on a tear recently, 7-3, 27-14 match score. Nails as insane as possible. Two seed nails, mind you, 7-3, 25-13. And then rounding out our top 5, 9 Eyebrows is sporting an 8-2 eyebrow with a 25-15 game score. Our co-host extraordinaire, Dr. Fish, coming in at an 8-2 for 27-14 game score. Now top 3 Diamond 7-3. Here's your scam, ladies and gentlemen. 26-16 on the game score. Based in coming in at a 7-3, 24-14 game score. And last but certainly not least in our hearts or the PPR, Agent PWE with an amazing 9-1, 29-16 game score.
Really insane records. Just such a strong season. Hero is always crazy. We say this every single show, but you can see here there's some names that are just performing super well. A lot of 1 and 2 seeds just performing really well. And I will give it to Donde. It doesn't seem as rigged as it usually is.
Yeah.
I don't know, having a 4 and a 5, 8-2s down below. It's sounding pretty rigged to me, but
It could be worse.
it could be a lot worse. Donde could be on the list.
Yeah.
And that would be the most rigged.
Shoutouts to Itachi, by the way. He missed 2 weeks this season because of a hurricane. And he's in the top 10. He's been killing it.
Yeah, shoutouts to Itachi. Reminder for everyone not to play during a hurricane.
Yeah, that's
Be safe.
Not good.
Yeah. So, to start our matches, should we, or not to start our matches, to start our next series, everyone ready to go talk about Legacy?
Why not? Let's get into some
Let's do it.
playoff chit chat.
Yeah. So Legacy playoffs have started. We are going to talk about the teams as they come in, but just to talk about the schedule for this week that's going to be happening, we're going to have the Golden Wisps versus F2L. We're going to have APM, All Pros Missing, versus Agent PWE Elemental and the Light Showers. We're going to have Seek Guidance versus Defias, and Wallet Warriors versus Bluefish. I think that's Bluefish. Now, we are not going to engage in speculation here, and I'll remind everyone that this show does not engage in that kind of content. You can see that tomorrow if you would like. And they're way better at doing that than we are, I think. And Fish can talk about it a lot more if you're looking to hear about speculation, but there's a lot to talk about Legacy. And I'm going to call the one and only Dr. Fish to tell us about our first match, Agent PW Elemental and the Light Showers versus the Cult Legacy.
All right. Yeah. So Agent Ellie and the Light Showers came in. Every single match was played in this one. Agent taking a 3-0 over Epic Mingo. Nails losing 2-3 to T-Stew. T-Stew coming in strong for his team. Geranium Battle 3-1 over Rice Bowl. Canoe taking a 3-0 sweep over Quaz, but Sharkbait with the 3-1 over Eternal. I wish I knew the exact order of matches, but there you go. 15-9. Agent Agent Ellie and the Light Showers move on to the quarterfinals.
I feel like this was one of the toughest matches to happen last week in Legacy. At least the record was pretty close for both of these teams. Do you agree,
Yes.
Fish?
Was this match from 2 weeks ago? Because I thought
I
they
hope
played.
not.
I
Did I
thought they
make a
played. I thought
mistake?
they played. I think they played Illidan's Death Knights. I'll pull the match up, but they played Illidan's Death Knights last week.
Oh, let me
in
fix
playoff.
that then. I'm probably just
Yeah.
copied the wrong match. Let me
All
just make
good.
sure I fix that.
Yeah, I will. I'll grab it on my screen. Yeah, it was a 14-5 win
I do have
for
it.
Agent Ellie. Cool. So yeah, it was actually a 14-5. With Agent PWE not even having to play his match. Nails sweeping JR, Geranium sweeping Jespine, and Canoe taking a 3-1 over Bit Beaker, and Mighty Biz getting a 3-2 over Eternal. So that's how Agent Ellie and the Light Showers make it to quarters. The previous one was how they made it into the playoffs.
Nice.
Awesome.
Strong showing by this team.
Mhm.
I'll ask DeSharmo if he has any thoughts on this match.
Yeah, I mean, just a strong showing by Agent PLE. I think Illidan's Death Knights was a team that sort of snuck their way into the playoffs. They really needed a strong showing across the board, and they really struggled, especially in the 2 and the 3. So, not surprising for me. I think Agent P. I played in their conference. They're a great team, and I think that they have a chance if they keep going.
Mm-hmm. Speaking about a team that has a chance, DeSharmo, why don't you tell us a little bit about Team Justin, the 5 Justins who made playoffs versus Defiance Brotherhood?
Yeah, this one was a match that was I would say it's one of those matches where you're rooting for the Justins to win. I mean, it's just one of those stories where you they kind of made this team as a meme. It wasn't really
Mhm.
going to be serious. And then and then they go in and they make the playoffs and they do really well. They get 6-3, which is really good. And and they're playing Defias and having again in the Gold Conference. Defias is really good. And they're really, really good this season. Defias is one of those teams that's been around for a very long time and had some seasons where they struggled a little bit. But this season they're not struggling at all. And basically, some strong performances from their 2 and 3 seed to sort of keep them afloat throughout the season. And this match really wasn't close. They didn't even play the 4th or the 5th match. The 1 and 2 got the job done, and then Comp got the job done as well against struggling Pokemon. So a good team, another good showing by Defias, and Defias is another team where you could see in the finals. I mean, it is possible to see 2 Gold Conference teams in the finals here because you look at it, there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, Corridon, any comments about Defias versus Team Justice? Or Justin, not Justice?
Team Justice, there's the name. I mean, pretty much what was said. I had messaged just in time earlier in the season when we were doing reveals just to learn a little bit about some of the newer players, and it's pretty much nailed it on the head. The team was made for memes, but memes can be dreams sometimes, or that's that other team sometimes we see in Legacy.
Yeah.
But Defias, DeSharma nailed it. Defias has been a threat. They were a threat last season. They were very close to getting through, playoffs. Very, very common. Even coming through with like the classy thug and the 2 as a brand new player, the real allure. So a few different players in some key spots, and Defias just looks very scary going forward.
Mm-hmm. Corridon, why don't you tell us about our next match? We have the Cult Legacy losing to F2L White.
All right. Well, another one that didn't have to get to the 5th match, as F2L White took a early lead against the Cult, captained by Quaz there. So Myanodon and T-Stew did not play, took the no contact. But Venus Bimoni, if the struggles in Hero has anything to say, then Legacy, he's doing very well for themselves. Rice Bowl taking a close one over Rebob. 3-2s all the way down the board, actually. Slad continuing a very strong season, taking down a, very, very strong opponent in Quaz. And Totino's Pizza taking a very, very tight one against Sharkbait, who, again, having a super strong season. So maybe a bit of an upset in this one. I know F2L is, was the higher seeded team coming into this one, but you're looking at the Cult in the season that they had. It's pretty crazy to see that they were taken down. But congratulations to F2L for pushing through.
Mm-hmm. Now, it sounds really appropriate to have Fish talk about our final legacy match, since we have Bluefish versus Dirty Mike and the boys.
All right. We've got Bluefish versus Dirty Mike and the boys. And wow, this didn't even need the top 2 matches to be played. Bluefish making quick work. Hickett winning 3-2 over Megu. Dead Snoop 3-1 over Tony Montana, and Judo Chop 3-1 over Lefty 2-1-1-1. And the reason it got called is because even if Dirty Mike sweeps both ways back, Bluefish won more matches that week, so they would get the week win. So yeah, Bluefish, quick work, and now they have now they're going up against Wallet Warriors next week. Or this week, I should say. So yeah. Congrats to Bluefish.
Yeah, I mean, this just kind of shows the continuation of Bluefish's dominance that they put on throughout the season. Not carrying any of those undefeated streaks anymore, but the bottom 3 really putting in work here for them, and A2 and Robocats definitely didn't need to play, obviously, but it's insane to see a double no contest and still see 12 points on the board for Bluefish. So just absolutely dominant. This team is going to look very, very scary. But no foresight, but they have a very difficult opponent coming through. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't engage in speculation here, but if I can ask for one thing for Legacy playoffs, I kind of want to see the finals have Avi versus Robocats.
Oh,
Wouldn't that be great?
It would be great.
That's not speculation. Yeah. That's just dreaming.
Right?
That's just big dreams.
That would be on stream for sure, and it would be hilarious. Let's make it happen. I need all the teams to make sure that happens, okay? It would be just a fun thing to watch, and we deserve it. Any final comments about Legacy before we move into our Black Series, aka Pro Series?
Everyone will hear my thoughts We'll hear my thoughts tomorrow, so I won't give any thoughts.
No, there's another strong showing. I mean, all these matches, the what do you call it? The first week of playoffs. I mean, they were just, none of them really were close, in my opinion. They were all sort of decided quickly. And this is one of those matches. I think this week 2, is the week that you're going to see some really close matches.
Yes.
I'm looking at Defias versus Seek Guidance. That's one I think is going to be really close. Wallet Warriors versus Bluefish, I think it's going to be a close one. And I think APM versus Agent P, whatever you call it. I think that's going to be close as well. The only one I don't think close is going to be the Wisp versus F2L. That's the only one I don't think is going to be close.
Whoa.
Nice. Well, we don't have Marty here tonight to expand on that, so I will take this opportunity to move us to Pro, unless anyone has any final Legacy thoughts.
Nope, just stay tuned. It's going to be a wild finish for playoffs, that's for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. A pro season, we had a weird effect. Um,
Yeah,
Black Conference kind of dominated the week, and since I'm in Black Conference, I'm probably biased to talk about this, so I'm going to ask Fish if Fish
sure.
wants to tell us what happened in terms of general scenario before we hop into the individual matches.
So, um, every single match during the first week of pro playoffs is a black conference team versus a pink conference team. Um, the, I mean, generally, like the only match I'd say was a bit of a surprise was the MPH win over Five Boxing Wizards, at least for in my opinion. But really good on No Pros here to take a win. I'm sure we'll go over some of these matches.
We will go over all of them.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, generally, Black Conference just played really well last week, and now it's gonna be it's gonna be brawls to the end.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen this happen before, where a conference was just eliminated
Yeah,
the first round.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, Desharmo, have you seen this as a board member? Has this ever happened?
Not to my recollection. I mean, we've seen them where 3 of one conference have won,
Oh yeah,
but
that's very
not
common.
4.
Mhm.
And it just I this is why I like the way that we do the playoffs, is because this would be impossible
Hmm.
if we did the pink
Mhm.
versus black, and then you had a pink and black in the finals. You
Mhm.
have the top 4 teams from the same conference.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting week. We're going to see this week Brushy Tuna versus For the Clowns and Red Ape versus NPH. But we don't talk about the future here. We're going to talk about some of the great matches that happened. And to talk
Yes.
about our first match, Fish, why don't you stick with us and tell us about the 5 boxing wizards jump quickly versus no pros here?
All right. So no pros here versus Five Boxing Wizards jumping quickly. Um, I was keeping track of this match throughout the week, but I kind of missed the part because it was so Five Boxing Wizards went up 8-4 to start the week with Refla and Aquaman winning early on, and then the last 3 matches were played. Agent with your Bumkhead handing Donkey his only loss on the season, 3-2. Lolnenko handing Dardar Binks a 3-1 loss, and Agent PWE winning 3-2 over Total Orange. So started up early in the week, but rallies from no pros here gets them through to the semis.
Mm-hmm.
Super interesting match. All 5 games having to be played.
Right. I don't think anyone was expecting it to go this way. It's the 5 boxing wizards kind of dominated pink. Destramo, any thoughts on this match before we move on to the next one?
No, this was a surprise match. This was one of those matches I sort of predicted that in my, I don't know if I said it out loud, but I thought 5 boxing wizards was a team to basically win the whole thing.
I think you
And
did say
this
that last week.
really surprised me.
Mhm.
Um, but it was just a great performance from their top 3 players, your mom kid Lanenko and Agent PWE, and even the 4 and the 5 seed picking up 2 points
2
each.
points is huge, yeah.
It was just a great showing from no pros here, and I like to see this. I like to see teams that are in the 4 and underdogs come in and win.
Mhm.
Yeah. Desharmo, stick with me to talk about our next match. We have Red Ape versus Undivided, the team that kind of was fairly out of contention and then suddenly became a strong playoff contender here. What happened there?
Excuse me. Hold on. Sorry, I had to do a quick cough there. Yeah, this was another match that I was looking forward to throughout the week. It was really close, and I had mentioned in my team Discord that it's possible the Bread Ape might be out. The champions, but no, that did not happen. They pulled it out. They did it. They got the points they needed, and they got the win. And unfortunately for Undivided, it didn't work in for their favor. They were sort of a dark horses team, and look, they missed it by basically one point.
Right.
And so, or 2 points, if 2 points. If they basically one of them would have won, they would have been in the next round playing NPH, and that would have been insane. So, but Bread Ape, you don't expect anything less. They're the defending champions, and a great team across the board, even in the 5 seed. Looking forward to this next matchup coming up next week.
Yeah. I will ask Gordon, do you have any further thoughts on Bread Ape versus Undivided?
It's it speaks for itself how close it was. I think Undivided, a lot of people in the THL didn't really know what to expect. A lot of new individuals to a THL playing in their first season, I believe, other than Starlax, tenured there, filling into the, I say, quote unquote bottom seed, but 3-0 on the season for Starlax. Unfortunately, season's coming to an end, but yeah, it's a great showing for Undivided. You typically in other series you see like Hero or Legacy, a team like this wouldn't be able to come back because after having a great season, PR gets really messed up. But that's the perfect thing about Hero. There's no PR to really mess around with. So if Undivided comes back, I expect them to be ranked pretty high on people's standings because taking the season champs of last year to literally a 2-point deficit of going through or not is nothing to scoff at on the accomplishments on the accomplishment side.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with that. I I am hoping to see a lot of these teams next season again, just doing as well as they did, or even better. Speaking of teams, I do hope keep always doing better. DeSharmo, I'll cut the cue here and have you tell us about our next match. We have Brushy Tuna versus Popeye's Spicy Chicken Sandwich. So tell me, how did that go?
Yes, giving me the honors here. I see. Um, this was one of those matches. I listened to Tavern Talk, and I heard you guys not believing in the tuna.
Yeah,
Some of you
I
guys.
heard
Not,
it
Did
too.
I think
Oh,
Fish believed in the tuna, but I
yes.
think
I
everybody
believed in the
else
tuna.
did not believe in the tuna, and the tuna was better
Mhm.
than the chicken.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Your
just
team's cracked.
three wins. I mean, it literally started off Donde losing 3-0,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then the rest of us going 3-1, 3-0, 3-1.
Mhm.
So, and then Ron and Mino not even having to play their match. So it was a good showing from Tuna. Popeye Spicy Chicken Sandwich, obviously a great team. Some things just didn't go their way. Some of the matchups were not favored on their side. So, um, it was a strong showing from Brushy Tuna. And Brushy Tuna was the top of the Black Conference and looking to see what they can do for the Clowns. I think for the Clowns was one of their losses of the
Mhm.
season. So
Yeah.
maybe the Clowns might give them their second loss, or maybe Tuna get some revenge. So we'll see.
Mhm.
Yeah. I will say this kind of feels like the law of equivalent exchange here, where they got us out last time, and this time we get them out in playoffs. It sounds fair, especially I played the exact same player, so it was kind of funny to see this happening.
That's cool.
I don't have to play the same player, so I'm happy about that.
Who did you play last time?
For the Clowns, I
Oh no,
believe.
when we played Popeyes last season.
Oh, Popeyes. I don't remember Popeyes. I can go look. I think I lost.
I know I lost to Wet Goose last time, and this time I won. So proud of that.
Yeah, awesome to hear. I don't know either.
I can look, but it's gonna take me like a couple seconds.
Um, as we
Anyways.
move to our final match, Corden, tell me a little bit about For the Clowns versus the Sheepies.
Oh, I didn't even play my match last season.
Oh,
It was
Oh,
versus
there you go.
Myanodon. Myanodon, poor Myanodon didn't play his playoff match last season, but he won, and then
Mhm.
didn't play it this season. which they did win. That's it. There we go.
Nice. So, Gordon, tell me a bit about Sheepies versus For the Clowns.
Yeah, it was, for the clowns, in good fashion, just as you guys were alluding to the brushy tuna taking a quick 12-6. I mean, uh, how about 3 matches only required for the clowns taking a very quick and decisive win over Sheepies. Nails, Pascoa, and German Shep really just putting in the work and denying Sheepies the possibility to even come clawing back. Super Chicken and Neji able to take this week off a little bit and continue to prep for the remainder of the playoffs. But I mean, it's tough one. Sheepies was looking extremely good, but the ping conference just, I don't know. They didn't seem tested this season, right? It seems like they really came into black, and maybe the lower I wouldn't say lower quality, but it just seemed like a struggle, right? We see all black teams making it through, and really the closest matchup going with the Bread 8 Undivided there. So the rest of them pretty straightforward and sure-footed for the clowns. It's going to be a photo finish with what's remaining here. You've got uh, probably a very strong black season, so I'd be interested to see how it goes forward.
Mm-hmm. Fish, any comments on what Gordon said about For the Clowns versus Sheepies?
They made very quick work this week. For the clowns did. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Nails and Shep won on the same day, and then Pascoa won the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So very well done by them. They have a tough opponent in you guys next week. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And all these matches were pretty good, with the 2 on the right side of our bracket being very close. The other 2, they had matches unplayed, but uh, Black
Oh,
Conference, like Horton said, Black Conference showed out this week, and so we'll see.
mm-hmm.
hmm
Yeah, very exciting Pro season as we come back to the main screen. Any final comments anyone would like to say about Pro?
Like, again, stay tuned because just legacy. I mean, we're gonna see who the true champion of Black Conference and of all of Pro is. Really.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's some exciting matches for the Clowns versus Brushy Tuna, and then on the other side, it's don't let it escape me here. Bread 8 versus NPH. So, hopefully, can NPH take another upset? You know what I mean? Can they continue the underdog story and take down the returning champs? And can Brushy Tuna get a little revenge? It's storylines write themselves here.
True.
Yeah, Brushy Tuna team. So basically, the unknown sort of remade, but a team that's always been just right there in the semifinals and even in the finals, and never really getting that win. So, kind of a concede your match kind of team right now. If you kind of equate that to Battlegrounds, and it'd be good to see if maybe we can get that championship. If not, all the rest of these 3 teams are deserving of it as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now we are early tonight. See, I actually managed to make the show not end super late. So I am going to move for final thoughts and our checkout question. The question for the night is: we know that a mini set is probably arriving next week or the week after, something like that. We assume it's going to be pretty soon. What do you all want out of this mini set? What archetypes need support? What core archetype do you expect to get a lot of support, or something you're wondering about it? And I'm going to start with the one and only Dr. Fish. Fish, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was a blast having you. What are your thoughts, and tell us a bit about that mini set?
Things I'd like to see um, bolstered in the mini set. Oh man. Um, I It would be interesting to see some stuff for tick lock, but I wonder if that would just make hand lock too good at that. Again, really good.
Fair.
And I liked playing Control Warlock last expansion. Maybe some shadow, maybe like a little bit more Shadow Priest
Sure.
stuff, because it was actually pretty interesting. I mean, there were some very high rolly, uninteresting games that could happen, but generally the deck is an archetype we haven't had, and so it's something I'd like to see like slightly bolstered.
Sure. Any final thoughts for the night? Anything you want to say about Hearthcenter? Also, a quick plug for matches if anyone wants to play on stream.
Yeah. So obviously, thank you for having me on. This is a blast. I love doing these shows. Tomorrow night, Tavern Talk. We still have room for a guest if anybody wants to come on. Just shoot me a DM on Discord. And matches Thursday Throwdown doesn't have any matches. So if you're playing Thursday night and both of you and your opponent want to play on stream, send me a DM, please.
Awesome. Remember, playing on stream is super fun, and we're always grateful. We're always nice to people who play on stream. It's super helpful. Really, we appreciate whenever you all are willing to let us cast your games and just have fun, and we're going to do our best to help you learn something during the match. Gordon, thank you so much for joining us. You join us for BGs is amazing. Now joining us for Hero, giving us some super nice Hero commentary. So I just want to thank you one more time for being here tonight. Any final thoughts you want to share, and any expectations for the mini set?
Yeah, the mini set. I'm. It sounds kind of bad because we just got them, but I really hope we get away from quest lines. Quest lines make me sad right now. There's really just no counterplay. I mean, mage in specific, but it just feels bad to have such a linear decks, to the end game. Some quests are so extremely powerful when then you look over at poor priest, and really it's just run because of card draw. It's not really run to do the actual fun quest end. So, maybe instead of steering away from quest line, we, bump up some of the less played one. I'd love to see priest. I'm a control guy, so maybe that's the least popular opinion of seeing control priest come back, because
Nope, you got somebody else here on this.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd like to see that
50-50.
I'd like to see that. Paladin would love to see questline as well. I think there's a really dope aggro paladin that could be kicking around with the right cards coming out, and we already know that questline warrior is probably going to be getting some help, as they buffed a lot of it, and then pretty much alluded to the fact that these buffs are here because we want it to be they want to help it out. So maybe give some of the quest lines that haven't really shone the light of day a little bit of love and help. We got some great ones from last mini set. We got Anaconda, we got things like that. So Anaconda Druid is always dope. So maybe see a legendary that kind of defines an archetype. Another Anaconda if I really had my wish. But other than that, no. I mean, final thoughts. You can't say it anymore. I won't be casting this Friday, unfortunately. I got some family stuff coming around, so get your matches out there for sure. If you got playoff matches, Hero, if you got playoff implication matches, I know the 5th and 6th spots are extremely tight right now, so if you got anything Friday, Saturday, Sunday, let us know. Get them in there. You don't have to be on cams. That is not a prerequisite. It's always welcome, but you are not required to. If that is ever a reason that you do not want to be on because you think you have to be cam, do not worry about it. There is no pressure in that regards.
Awesome. Desharmo, as always, thank you for being here. It is great having you in the show. Spicy thoughts as usual. Anything you want to say in terms of your final thoughts, and any thoughts on mini set stuff?
Yeah, I think the stream likes my forehead because of the way the cam's set up here.
I tried to fix it.
Yeah, but thank you. I appreciate it. I got to give you a hard time, Lettuce.
I know.
No one ever gives you a hard time. Someone's got to give you a hard time, man. You're like the nicest guy, so I feel like a jerk by just giving you a hard time.
No, it's here. I'm fixing it as we speak.
All right. The my final thoughts for I'm 100% with Corridon on on the quest lines. I was originally very excited about them, but they are very linear. And just thinking about it, it's like 1 mana do a bunch of stuff. It's the value and the insane you get from that quest line is just gross. So, I mean, I think if they just tuned back a little bit of what the quest line can get you is, I mean, to me, 1 mana draw to basically discover 2 cards from your deck on that priest, I think is really good. That's like, even if you don't finish the quest line, that's still really strong. But all the other quest lines, they're just really gross right now. And I would like to see some nerfs, some hard nerfs for some of those quest lines. Like, the mage one, maybe instead of +3, it's +2, or something like that. Or even maybe, I don't think they go to +1, but just stuff like that where it's not as broken.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
like the warlock one, I think is fine right now.
Really fun.
But I'm with him on that one. For the mini set, I'm hoping we get some spicy stuff, and I do want to move away from the quest lines as well, and I want Control Priest to come back.
Nice.
So
Nice thoughts. If I can ask for something for the mini set, I would add just 2 things. First, I really want us to have Rat Hunter become a thing because that looks a lot of fun, and it's just way too bad right now. Just a good old token hunter deck. It's always fun to see those, and I miss good old Quest Hunter with Savage Roar. That was a fun deck. So I hope we get that. And I kind of want them to repurpose the Demon Hunter quest because it's kind of very weird right now. I don't really know what it's doing in the current meta, so I would love to see something be done with it that is not lifesteal TK. Like, you can still have the Demon Hunter quest, but not just the same old lifesteal TK that has been around for 3 seasons now. That it's fun, sure, but it's kind of boring.
Yeah, but they killed brutes, man. If they were gonna move away from it, they wouldn't have killed brutes, right? So I mean,
They had
they
to kill
tried-
brutes.
Well, they tried to kill Ilgi, but they just can't kill Ilgi.
well, yeah, you give them hand discounts, they're gonna still be around. But I mean,
Yeah,
if you want to
exactly.
move away from it, you can't kill brutes. You got to give them a
No.
reason to play the deck. Now there's no reason to play it.
And you need to figure out a
agree.
condition that doesn't work with the OTK though. Maybe something new that we're not thinking about. But
I'm just tired of combo. To be honest, I mean, people say it's not combo, but I call it combo.
It's
Like
a combo. It requires
It's
a
a control
combination
combo
of
deck.
cards.
Well, I'm not talking about just that deck. I mean, I consider most of the quests to be combo decks, even though they're not really combo decks. But I mean, you finish the quest line with Mage, you're gonna blow them up in 2 turns.
The Mage becomes a
2-turn
combo
kill,
deck
and then
yeah,
even the Warlock one, when you finish the quest and you get to the end of your quest line, you're just doing a bunch of damage to him. You could kill him in 1 turn. I mean, I consider them combo. People disagree with me, but I want to move away from that stuff where you just feel like you can't win. You're like, no matter what you do, you just lose because they did it. That's what I want to move away from.
nice.
yeah. I wouldn't mind that.
Anyway, I think we've probably talking too much here. Just my opinion.
No, we're perfect timing to hit
Perfect
1
time
hour
for-
as the show closes. I want to take a final second to thank Corridon, Dr. Fish, and Desharmo for joining me tonight. It was great having you all. You were all amazing as usual. I had a lot of fun, which is to me one of the most important parts. I hope you all had a ton of fun as well. I want to thank everyone in chat for listening to us for all this time, bringing us questions, thoughts. Prove us wrong next week as we see, hopefully next week, what the mini set is going to be. I'm looking forward to get excited about Standard again because it's a bit stale right now in my opinion, but we will see what will happen. A lot of fun matches this week. Keep your eyes out. There are going to be some great streams. There's a double Avi match going to happen on Saturday night, We're going to have Avi versus PWE back-to-back Legacy and Pro. And that's kind of insane. PWE is trying to get the crossover title, so that match is kind of core to him, and we're going to see what happens then. That
I
said,
do have
go
I do
ahead.
have one more thing I'd like to say. There has been some word going around about mercenary series. If you are interested in something like that, like
Ooh,
vocalize it. Vocalize it so that the board knows,
yeah.
and just something we could figure out. But
And
if you want to do that, just let us know.
Yeah,
Speak to
they'll
us.
need a lot of interest. Yeah.
you heard it first. DM Ducharmo as much as you can.
No, don't DM me.
Just fill his inbox. Make sure
Don't
you
DM
send
me.
him pictures of mercenaries, pictures of Diablo. Like, just
Yeah.
go for it.
Send him all of your comps on every single one that you have that you might dream of doing. Complain to him about the coin
Yep.
mechanic as well, and about the most recent packs. Everything. Desharmo is your mercenaries dumping ground. So
Yeah. And I think, like anything, if you want to send him pictures of weird comps you saw online, just really anything.
I'm glad you said comps after weird. Send him weird pictures,
send
and
him
then you
weird
stop.
anything.
Yeah.
That growth on the body of your foot,
Comps.
Desharmo wants to see it. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, I think that is it for us, though. Hope you all are having a great time with Mercenaries. We didn't talk about it tonight because there was a lot to cover, and we wanted to keep our show as short as possible, but we will see you all next time. Have a good night, everyone.
Night, everybody.
See you later.
Good night, everybody.